Hey guys, it's SJ. Welcome round to mine. Happy Baby Name Monday. Every single Monday on YouTube, I make a new name list for inspiration, and this is a boy name list. I love writing name lists, and I found as a mum that I wanted to, when picking names, pick kind of like by theme rather than just an A to Z. So that's what this whole YouTube channel is about. I've done it for like 4 years, and now I report on baby names. There's a baby name Instagram, there's a baby name Pinterest, there's a brand new baby name podcast as well, solving your dilemmas. So yeah, when I like something, I really go for it. But the podcast is brilliant because it's all of your real dilemmas. So get over there and listen to those episodes, and there will also be a dilemma for you guys to help with. One of our viewers is pregnant. Obviously a lot of viewers are pregnant, and I've got one of your dilemmas for the end. If you would like to submit a name dilemma, it's sj.strum@yahoo.com, so you can always email me. So, boy names, do you find them harder or do you find them easier than girl names? A lot of people, I would say, find boy names a bit harder. A lot of these names are actually quite gender neutral, which is the other theme, big trend coming up as well. But these are soft and gentle sounding boy names. So because names like Liam, Oliver, Noah are at the top of the charts all around the world, but they have got those gentler, softer sounds, and we get a lot of requests for parents looking for that type of a name, but one that's a little bit off the beaten path. It would be really boring if I did these name lists and it was like the top 20. So all of these names are actually outside the top 200. They are my top 10 picks. I've done tons and tons of research, so you'll also get the meaning and the ranking. I love these names. I feel they're super duper wearable. I think you're going to find a gem here, and you can carry on adding to this name list in the comment section below. So I'm going 10 to 1, and it's a little bit different because what I thought I would do is go 10 is the highest up on the popularity list, going down to 2 totally unranked names which are lush. So yeah, that's how I'm going to do it. So I want to figure out where your comfort zone starts and finishes when I'm going through. So at number 10, so the highest in terms of popularity on this list, is only at number 252 here anyway, and it's the name Josiah. So Josiah is obviously familiar with like Jude, Judah, Joseph, and all of those names, and even Noah with the ending, but hardly anyone is using Josiah, and it's so nice. I think written down, it just looks absolutely gorgeous and would make a stunning kind of brother-sibling name to like an Olivia and Josiah. It really trends it up a little bit. It's a Hebrew name, and we absolutely love those everywhere around the world. And it's also the name of one of the youngest kings, who was apparently king at 8 years old. Who knew? Josiah. So what do you think of Josiah? I really like the nickname Joss, I think, as well, for a little boy. It could be really, really cute. It could even be Josh with this ending of the H, if you like Josh but aren't sure on Joshua. Josiah is really, really trendy. I love it. And number 9 is a name that we've never talked about before, so I'm interested to hear what you think of it, and it's the name Marcel. So I really like it, and I actually really love Marcellus, which is the longer form. I really love that, and there was only actually 8 babies called Marcellus last year, which I'm kind of surprised about when you think about the popularity of longer boy names. They're kind of like getting quite trendy, even like a Tobias, or what was the other one I was thinking of? Those similar, Maximus or Maximilian. Lots of people are choosing those longer names, so actually Marcellus could be a really cool one. I love Marcel as well. I just think it's really sweet. It's obviously got very kind of European vibes. It sounds very French. However, I do see that we're using a lot more Italian, French, Spanish names. You know, we are a very global community, and we're sort of loving to look around the world and choose popular gems from around. So I wouldn't let that put you off if you don't have those roots. I think Marcel really works. And what's also cool is that it comes down to some of the back history into it, connects it to the planet Mars. So like Marcus as well has been really around for ages and is linked to the planet Mars. So a little bit could be Marcel and go by Mars. So it's quite cute, isn't it? I really like it. Number 8, a name you will all be familiar with, is the name Cruz. But I guess you're all familiar with it. I love it because it's a 1 syllable, and I think when you're looking for like a soft name, and really high up the charts are a lot of these 1 syllable 4-letter names for boys, and I love Cruz. We're kind of familiar with it because David and Victoria Beckham used it for their 3rd son. So they've got Brooklyn, Romeo, Cruz, and then Harper. Harper's gone off the scale popular since they chose it as well, but it is like just one of those occupational literary names that I think would have come up anyway, whereas Cruz hasn't as much, but it's still popular, but it's at number 452. which is a real sweet spot because inside the top 500, which means it's not totally unique, lots of people have heard it, people can spell it and recognise it. It means cross, so it's quite got that sort of spiritual side to it as well, with a cross, or religious side to it. So what do you think of Cruz? I think it is really, really nice for a little boy, and it could make a really cute middle if you've got a more traditional first name as well, and you're looking for something, because one syllables are really good in the middle. And number 7 is a name I had on my name list, but I couldn't use any names beginning with W because my husband says them as a V, so it's kind of annoying, but I did love this name, and it's the name Wilbur. I just say the name before I start prattling on about it. Wilbur. So isn't it cute? So Wilfred has had its major moment, and I love it. Wilf, everybody loves it. Whereas now Wilbur is hot on its heels. It is storming up the charts in the UK at number 429. Funnily enough, I looked in the US, it's totally plummeting. So if you are like somewhere else in the world, kind of a good one, because you're getting a name that, you know, you can see from parents here loving it. Probably it will start to come up around the world. I didn't know, and I probably could have sold this to Hendrix on this fact, that it means wild boar. So it's kind of got like a, what was it we called it, like a good earth or wild nature. I did wild nature, didn't I, a few weeks ago. I love that theme, and wild boar is interesting because we have so many, like Orson, baby bear, Kit meaning fox, and Wilbur meaning wild boar. Some places also just say it means brilliant or shining one, coming more down the William kind of route. But it's a really lovely, cute name, and I think it's so wearable. I think Wilbur's is really cute. Some people associate it with Charlotte's Web, which is kind of an older literary kind of reference that some people have. And then a lot of younger people associate it with Wilbur Soot, who is a YouTuber, like a sort of a gaming youth YouTuber. Probably not as cool, probably doesn't have any baby name lists on his channel. Do you, Wilbur? How did you get that many million subscribers without them? Yeah, so I kind of feel like it makes younger people will be very, sort of see it as a cool and trendy name potentially. So yeah, what do you think of Wilbur? Number 6, oh god, I love all these names. I'm going to say this is also my favourite. Such a rare gem. It's at number 501. It's a really perfect spot. It's the name Jago. So Jago is actually Cornish, so it's roots in Cornwall, which I didn't know, and I think that's really lovely to know because it almost sounds kind of like American to me, Jago, with the O at the end though. How cool is that? And we love the O sound for baby names, as we know, like a Noah could easily be a Jago, a Liam could easily be a Jago, just such a cool name. And J is a nice short form, obviously it's a bird, the J bird, so another reason to like it. I looked this up online and it had so much love, just everyone like love this name, so trendy. Didn't have any sort of that, sometimes they're a bit divisive, but this was so popularly loved, so it's surprising to see it so far down. It is kind of like the same family as James, Jacob, Hamish, all of those, and Jago was the Cornish variant. So yeah, super perfect for anyone looking for a kind of a name that's got those soft sounds, but and is kind of like with the J, but want something that's a bit more unique. I really recommend Jago. At number 5 is the name Alicio. So unusually only 6 babies were called Alicio, so I've gone from 500 down to 6. Sorry, there's a bit of a leap, and the next names have got 6 and then they're unranked. So Alicio, isn't it lovely again, ending in the O again, because I just know it's such a popular sound for you guys. And we love names like Evander here, but we've not really talked about Alicio. And again, it's one of those written down with the boom of Ellis being so popular. Like I feel like I wouldn't use Ellis potentially now because I know a few Ellises, not because I don't like it, just I don't mind if a name's popular, but when you've already got friends with Ellis, Alicio could be enough different to use it as well. It means salvation, so it's quite a lovely name meaning as well. If we're looking for a kind of almost like a rainbow baby or something like that, a long-awaited baby, then salvation's quite lovely as well. And it comes from the same name as Alicia. So if you have an Alicia that you're trying to honour, came through the same, the Reformation, Puritans began to use a lot of these Old Testament names, had a little bit of a boom then. And then Alicia started to get used by the Latin Americans, and then it became Alicio. So that's kind of how it's kind of moved through time, Alicio. But I really like it, and I'm interested to see what you think of it. At number 4 is a place name, and it's the name Oslo. So we talked about this name before as maybe a brave alternative to like an Oliver, an Otto is really popular, an Oscar. An Oslo is just so perfect. It's so gentle, but it's got that strength to it. It sounds very rounded up and a real name. Obviously, it's the capital of Norway, is Oslo. Oslo used to have a different name. Actually, the city all got burnt down and destroyed by a fire in 1624. And I've read about this before. It's really fascinating. And the city was called Christiania, which I'm sure I went to Denmark and there's a Christiania kind of area that's like the boho art area. Bit of a scary place to go. It's a bit more like Camden in the 60s. It's a bit wild. But yes, anyway, little side fact, I went there. And yeah, really, really cool. And then Oslo was kind of like a little city, a little village outside, and then they sort of merged them together and it became Oslo. But I just really like it. And I think with Arlo and all of those have just been kind of done, and only 6 babies were called Oslo. Again, I think it works with boys or girls actually, because any place name you really could go with. But what do you think of it? I know that quite a lot of you love it, so I'm giving away a little name then. We all watched The Money Heist in lockdown, and there was an Oslo character in that, Tokyo, Oslo, Berlin, and we talked about that as one of our big trends, Netflix and naming. That's what we were all doing last year, our generation. So you can listen to my Netflix names, I'll link them below as well. Number 3, totally unranked, is the name Pax. P-A-X, which is crazy when you consider we all kind of know it, and it means peace, which is so stunning. We know it from kind of like, you know, it's a known name, a known word, as a celebrity baby name with Angelina Jolie choosing it for her son Pax. But I feel like with Jax having been so popular, jumping onto totally unranked Pax would so suit some of you who love like Bodhi and those types of names as well, or Jax or Jackson. It's just really lovely to have a sort of a variation of all of those names. Hendrix is what I wrote down because I get so many requests. People have listed Hendrix, and Pax would make an amazing alternative. I love the meaning of peace. I also found out that in the Mayan solar calendar, Pax is one of their 18 months, and it's the perfect month for planting, which I quite liked for some reason. I thought it made it sound quite earthy, peace and earth. Lovely, isn't it, Pax? So I hope it starts to get some pickup. This next name, Annie Howell, left over on Baby Name Envy Instagram as a suggestion, and I absolutely loved it. I'd never heard it before, so thank you for leaving it. And it was the name Hamlin. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful, and it means home lover. Hamlin, I really like it. It's a bit like Hamlet, obviously Shakespeare's Hamlet, which hasn't boomed after Ophelia did, funnily enough, but Hamlin I just think is so lovely. I've always loved Hugo, and it's got the same Germanic kind of background to it, but it's Hamlin, and I think I actually prefer it to Hugo, which has always been my boy name, because it's just so unusual, and I think it would make a beautiful middle spot, again, if you're not quite brave enough to use it. But home loving is just such a lovely name meaning, particularly for a lockdown baby. There's been some loving in the home. no, we've loved and enjoyed our homes. But I just thought it was such a beautiful name and one I'd never heard, so thank you very much for leaving it. And number 1 is a bit of a name crush of mine at the moment that I'm seeing on lots and lots of lists, but totally unranked. It's the name Bayou. Isn't that unusual? And I feel like it suits. It's not actually totally unfamiliar from like a Noah, Bayou, but it's a totally it's a Native American origin Choctaw, is that how I say it? It feels French, but it actually has this Native American root, which I think makes it really, really lovely. And it means small stream or slow small stream. So basically like brook, but it's Bayou. I know lots of people love the nickname Bay as well, so I wondered if that one would be one for you. So those are my top 10 soft and gentle sounding boy names. I think that is a really good list, if I do say so myself. I had such a long list and I wanted to find 10 kind of really unique names, but I think are really wearable. So I hope you found something you love. Do carry on this list in the comment section below by adding more. Do let me know which one of these you like the most as well. And let's quickly have our baby name dilemma. Okay, so the light's going really funny, so I'm going to quickly give you my viewer dilemma, which was sent in by Emma. Huge congratulations to Emma. This is her dilemma. Please let her know some suggestions in the comment section below. Her suggestion will always also probably be on the podcast, which we're hoping to re-record for series 2. And as I said, if you have any dilemmas, send them into sjstrum@yahoo.com. com, that's right. I don't always reply to them there and then, they literally go into a folder. So if you want immediate help, then you can DM us a bit easier on Instagram. So Emma, I've loved listening to your podcasts. Thank you. We have baby number 2 on the way, and it's a little boy. So huge congratulations. And it's actually her second son. And second babies with the same gender, people do really struggle with, because it's got to match, doesn't it? Our first is Alby Thomas Williams. Beautiful. I love Alby. Thomas, one of those classic but underused names, which I love as well. We're really struggling to choose a name now, and wonder if anyone is able to send in requests for help. Yes, let's help. I like names that I can identify more with a boy and are less gender neutral. So that's your first challenge. However, my hubby is not so set on this. Okay, already we've got to bring this couple together. I always find that the hard thing. We're looking for something a bit different, but not too far off the wall, as Alby isn't. So I'm guessing she doesn't want like an Alby and a phoenix, something that kind of feels like an Alby, which is kind of like an Alfie. So it's kind of like a kind of that type. So she's given us names she likes and what her husband likes. Oh, funny, I've just said one of these names. So I love her name. So she likes Auden, Bowen, Hudson, Corby, Bowie, Anson and Orson. So she basically likes names that end in N and have S-O-N. They all end in N. So I guess that's quite nice with Alby and then something at the end. So I would stick around the N endings. But her hubby has got great names as well. He likes Joss. So she might like Josiah, which I just said earlier. Leo, Audie and Aston. I feel like we will never agree this time. Oh, sorry, my light. Yeah, it does get harder. You will agree this time. We are here to help. So you are great namers. Leave all your ideas for Emma in the comment section below. Find me anywhere else during the week. I've actually filmed a few more bits of content. I've got a grocery haul coming up. We are like a plant-based family, so I've got a grocery haul coming up. I've got a HomeSense haul coming up because I popped into HomeSense with my sister. That's nice, isn't it? I'm going to film that in a little bit. And so come back later on in the week. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you haven't already, because that is the place to be to help me out. Congrats. Any babies on the way, let me know birth announcements as well, and I will speak to you next week. Bye guys.